Hey everybody, so okay, here I am in the bathroom, and as you can see behind me, this teal wall is not yet painted, nothing's done. I have to start out by taking out this towel bar, and then I'm gonna put on the base paint. I'm not gonna actually record that, but I will put up above in the cards and down in the description a link to my 21 favorite painting tools if you're interested in seeing how I paint a wall, how I cut in, what products I use for that, and my materials and tools and all of that stuff. You can check out that video because it gives a way more in-depth detail. Okay everybody, I wanted to just break in here for a quick second because I know I said I'm not going to show you me painting this entire wall, and I'm definitely not going to, but I at least wanted to give you a couple quick seconds of how I'm applying the base paint color to this wall, because I'm not doing this in the standard way that I did in the other video that I referred to earlier. I'm actually going to be brushing on all of the color, and I'm only doing one coat. I don't want this to go to 100% saturated, and I definitely want to make sure that there's some brush strokes in there because it'll just help with that vibe that it's weathered wood. So I'm just going to grab my brush and a little bit of paint, and back in here I will show you just how I'm painting around these things and to get it looking less than ideal on purpose. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea of how I'm doing this. I'm literally just coating the brush and slapping some paint up on the wall. I just want it really rough. That's gonna help just to give it a little more tooth as well as a little bit more variety once I start laying down where the planks are going to be located. I'm actually painting this wall with the mid-tone paint color. That way, anytime this breaks through the other glaze colors or other paint colors that I put on top, it just has like a nice seamless effect. The first thing that I like to do in any decorative paint treatment is to create a sample board. That way I can kind of get my chops back so I remember how to do the finish itself, and I can make sure that the paint colors and the glaze to paint ratio and all of that is working out appropriately. I wanted to give you the paint to glaze ratio and how much square footage that actually covered. So for the three main colors that I put up, the grayish, the blue, and the cream color, I did a total of 24 ounces of product. So I did about 8 ounces per color, and that was a 1-to-1 ratio of paint to glaze. So 4 ounces of paint to 4 ounces of glaze in each of those cups. Then for the accent brown color, I did the same 1-to-1 ratio, but it was basically just about a teaspoon. I knew I wouldn't use too much of that, so I didn't want to waste a whole ton of paint and glaze. All told, I had a little bit left over at the end, like you can see here in these cups, just a few ounces, and this covered approximately 45 total square feet in my bathroom. And now back to your regularly scheduled rest of this video. I'm like, if you'll pardon the pun, going against the grain on what Modern Masters recommends. I am not using a semi-gloss base coat, and I'm also using eggshell-based paint as my tint. The reason that they don't want you to do either of these things is that because paint finish will greatly impact how much open time you have to work with the glaze. My eggshell is going to be much more absorbent than the semi-gloss that they recommend, and that means that my glazing product is going to start to dry a lot quicker than if I was using a higher sheen paint as my base paint. Now, because I've done this a whole bunch of times in the past and I've used like every kind of possible finish and every kind of possible tint, I know exactly how to manipulate my product. But if this is your first time doing this and you're following along, I highly recommend going with the manufacturer's instructions on the outside of your container Just follow along with those manufacturers' recommendations and you should get a much better product out of it. But as you play and as you do more decorative painting, you may want to like mix it up a little bit and go a little crazy. This is how I party, so... Alright, so here's how we're gonna do this. I've got my tape measure, my pencil, my tape and my level, and what I'm gonna do now is just come down, as you can see, where's my hand, over on this side. I'm gonna measure out at 4 inches, and then I will do the same thing over on the other side at 4 inches. Okay, everybody, here's where I say the words best laid plans, because I screwed up. I'm just gonna own it. I did not measure enough, or I measured and then forgot to write those measurements down, but my trim here is actually out of level by 1/2 inch, which is just way too much. It's gonna look ridiculous at that bottom plank. It will look completely off and it's gonna kill the entire design if I go with where I put my pencil marks. I took my base paint. I said many curse words, which I will not share with you because we're trying to be a little bit family friendly over here, but I took my base paint and I went over all of those pencil lines. We're back to ready to go. I'm gonna measure out over here the 4 inches, and then as I come across the wall, once I get closer to this corner of the wall, I'm gonna start to slope on the bottom 4 planks. I will slope each one of those by about 1/8 of an inch so that I can make up that 1/2 inch difference. And to the eye, you're never really gonna see that. And the likelihood that you're gonna get down on your hands and knees and look to see if that's exactly level is basically slim. If you come over my house and you do that, well, you deserve to get whatever you see. So there's that. I'm gonna let this cure, and then when I come back in, I will start measuring out my lines. Next time you guys are gonna see me though, I'll be putting up the tapes. Hey everyone, Editing Jen here. I just wanted to break in real quick to let you know that by some miracle, I actually found that I had white chalk, this Irwin straight line white chalk for my chalk marker. Matt graciously helped me that night when he got home. The level was great, but it was just too long a run, especially with the fact I needed to slope. So this is what we ended up using. I am bringing you my sample board here because unfortunately, because I have to wait for that base paint to dry in the bathroom, I'm not going to get to showing you the taping off today. By the time I get in there, I am going to lose the light that allows me to put the phone where I need to put it in order for you to see that wall for me to do this part. I just want to tell you how to tape off to get the best possible weathered wood planks that you can get. What you want to do is you want to do your measurements and then start taping off so that you're exposing a 4-inch or whatever your measurement is gap on every other plank. So you can see here I have 4 rows. 2 of them have dots across the entire thing and 2 of them are open but with vertical dividers as well as dots on every other one. The dots indicate where I am not painting, so I don't make the mistake of trying to get in here on this like 2.5-inch bit and go, oh my God, no, like what did I do? I will be glazing this one and this one to begin. This will allow me to have the perfect 4-inch gap because the tape has been put on the outside measurement of the pencil line or chalk line, whatever you end up doing. That means that the tape is on the inside measurement of the next plank. Once this plank is dry, I can remove the tape from here and then put that on the outside measurement, leaving me the 4 inches in the alternating row going up and down the wall. The reason I've put in these vertical dividers is because I want it to be planks that look like there are multiple planks, you know, slapped in across the wall. So this will be a separate plank. I've got a dot here to say no because this is measured out to where I want it to be over here. And if I start putting glaze in here, I've got a 1-inch gap where the plank isn't, and that's not going to look very finished. So what I'll do, again, waiting for this to dry, take the tape, move it to the inside, remove the little dot, glaze here as well. If the glaze is still slightly tacky when you're putting this tape up, you don't want to push really hard. You're just going to want to basically give it a pretty good push at the edge which is called burnishing the tape. That way it will create the crispest possible line and hopefully not get any bleed under to the already completed panel. Okay, now that the little dots have been pulled and the tape is firmly positioned in the correct way, and I have double checked to make sure that I do have the tape on the opposing side of the plank, because it would be just my luck to do that and then mess it up by leaving a 1-inch gap in between the planks. But I've definitely double checked that and it's fine. It's now time for the glaze. All right, everybody, let's get back to glazing. I am back in the morning. I've already moved tape around. I'm probably going to be able to get the glaze done today, even though there are going to be some places where I'm glazing like right next to a wet glaze. I feel like it's probably going to dry in enough time that there's only like 3 of those planks and they're way down low. It's not going to be a big deal, and the delicate tape should work. Okay, so this is what can happen. This is what can happen if you're not paying attention and you've got a jillion lines. I was just about to do this one here, as you can see. I forgot to put a tape on this one, and that would have been like, you know, not the end of the world, but kind of disastrous for the finish. So I'm gonna get tape on that and then just get back to it. Also, I'm going to stop the camera now. I feel like I've given you 437,000 clips of me doing this glaze, and hopefully you absolutely get the point of how it goes on the wall. If you have more questions, you can always check out our website. I'm probably in November-ish sometime going to start getting some stuff up on the website as far as exact steps and everything. So if you've got more questions, check there, or just leave a comment down below and ask any old question you've got as far as how this finish is applied, or like literally anything, how to mix glaze, whatever, let me know.
got in the tight spots. Yeah, this color looks awesome. It's like a spa in here.
Yes.
I want this for my bathroom. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm super happy with it. Oh, it's so much better than that color.
Well, that color will be going away in short order once I put tile up over there. Hey everybody, don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll see when that tile video goes live. Yeah. It would probably be smart if I actually did this part. I feel as if that tape is not cute. Occupational hazard when you faux finish in bare feet like that. I swear I can afford things. It's just, you know, why am I gonna spend money on a shirt that's not ratty when I'm just gonna get paint and glaze all over it? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna say words. Words are good. I've got words to say. Stop singing. I say this every video. Thanks for checking it out.
Thanks for doing it.
Even though I forced you to come in here.
That's all right.
Is it just me, or does that almost look like a unibrow? Ooh, it grows. Okay, stop.